Hey, greetings everyone. Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, Chairman of the Republican Party of Texas. As you know, I've been out here in El Paso for this weekend, and before I head back over to Garland to see my little grandson Jackson, I wanted to get down here to the border and see what's actually going on and talk to some of the people. So I'm just a little bit east of El Paso, and right here behind me you see that this is the end of the wall. Now this wall that you see behind me continues on all the way through El Paso, past El Paso, into New Mexico. But this wall here was brought up during the George W. Bush administration, but when Barack Obama came into office, it stopped. Now, one of the things that we come to understand in the military, if you want to secure a border, that means you're securing the border. That means that you're here, that you're on it. But we've been standing out here for a little bit, about an hour, haven't seen too many Border Patrol agents, and not too far away from us here is Interstate 10. So we're actually ceding over territory to the other side. And think about it, as soon as you go across the other side here, there's a levee and there's a canal there. That's controlled by the cartels. The cartels, who are really terrorist organizations, criminal organizations, transnational criminal organizations. People who are willing to do business with anyone that will pay them the money to get people over here into the United States of America. And sadly, we see a Biden administration that is really producing what I call a cartel economic enhancement program, because what they're allowing is for the cartels to be enriched by the fact that we have a purely open border. And this is by intent. When you start to, by executive order, say, we're not going to defend the sovereignty of the state of Texas or the United States of America. We're not going to allow the Customs and Border Patrol to do their duty and responsibility, their job. We're not going to allow ICE to do their job. As a matter of fact, not too far away from here, United States Army base, Fort Bliss, Texas. And what's on Fort Bliss? A holding facility for illegal immigrants. Now, last thing I remember, I thought that our military installations were supposed to be for the training and the readiness and for the stationing of our military troops, not to put illegal immigrants on one of the most important, one of the most, security-wise, integral installations that we have in the United States Army. First Armored Division stationed there. And now we've got 3, 4, 5,000 illegal immigrants there. And we know we have the exact same thing over at the Dallas Convention Center where I live over in Garland. So when you, again, look at this, how can anyone in the Biden administration, hey, Kamala Harris, you're supposed to be the czar here. I think I've been spending more time on the board than you have. So what is this if it's not open, if it's not insecure? Now, the real thing that we have to be concerned about, think about if you're one of the farmers that live along here in this incredibly fertile area. How do you make sure that you're protected? And the folks that are on the other side in the cartels, they know that this is a clear path to come over and drop off their drugs, transport people. Texas is the #1 state in the United States of America for human and sex trafficking. What are we doing to stop it? And what are we doing to protect these farmers along here who get threats? Because it is not just that the cartels are operating on the south side of this border. The cartels are operating on the north side of this border. You talk to the people here who have farms along this area, and they're being told, this is drop locations for drugs. And all of a sudden, if the drugs aren't there when the cartel person comes to pick them up, they're threatened. We don't need to have that in the United States of America. That's an aspect of terrorism. So what should we be doing here in the great state of Texas? Number one, it should be a full deployment of the Texas National Guard. I can't think of a better mission than to have the Texas National Guard down here to make sure that there are no gaps, no way that we can be exposed, such as we see here. The United States Customs and Border Patrol, and as well as the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, if Joe Biden and Kamala Harris do not want to make sure that these government entities are doing their duties and responsibilities, then they should be brought under the operational control of the state of Texas. And they can get their operational designs from us and their missions and tasks from us. But we got to make sure that we're securing this area. This should be a border control zone. And what do I mean by a border control zone? The state of Texas should say X amount of miles off of this border to the north and to the south, that's a border control zone. And we're going to make sure that we monitor, we have surveillance, and we're controlling that border control zone. And no one gets to leave outside of the border control zone. There are no buses that come up and pick people up and bring them to Dallas, bring them to Fort Bliss, or disperse them all throughout the United States of America. We have to get control of this situation. We need to make sure that, I think, we, by executive order, the state of Texas, declare the cartels as a terrorist and a crime organization. And we need to start doing the things necessary against the people that are operating on this side of the border that support the folks over there in those cartels. And then also, we need to find these stash houses. Remember just a couple of weeks ago, we heard about 90 people in a stash house in Houston, Texas. Let me tell you what the old colonel would do. If I find a stash house, once I get everyone cleared out of it, I'm leveling that stash house. Because that's the message that we have to send to the terrorists and to the criminals that are over there, that are threatening the lives of our farmers, threatening the lives of everyday Texans over here, and destabilizing Texas as well. So again, this is the end of the line, as they say, the end of the border wall that we could have just continued on and gotten completed. When you talk to the farmers down here, there's no issue about eminent domain. As a matter of fact, they appreciate it. And yes, infiltrations coming across, invasions, they did reduce because they built it up to 30 feet. So why do we have this gap? I don't know. But someone at the federal government, where our taxpayer dollars go, and remember, the money was already appropriated for us to finish the border security fence. Why is it not being done? Or why is it that we are standing here for the past hour or so and seen a Border Patrol agent? That's not how you secure a border. We deserve, the people that are down here living along this border, they deserve better. And our members of Congress and senators, you need to be serving these people. Governor, Lieutenant Governor, this is Texas. We're not supposed to be living in terror because of the people on the other side of that border. We're supposed to be protecting our citizens. So this is Lieutenant Colonel Allen West, here just east of El Paso, Texas, at the end of the line for the border wall. This should not be the case. God bless you all. God bless Texas. God bless the United States of America.